With the regular season wrapped up and the postseason in full swing, I thought it would be a good time to drop a ranking video. And today I'm going to be ranking the best player from each position. And real quick before we get started, instead of doing left field, center field, and right field, I'm just going to be doing three outfielders for the outfield positions. So with that in mind, let's hop right into the video. Starting off at the catcher position, we have Salvador Perez. Perez put together a monster 2021 season in which he played in 161 games, hit .273 with 48 bombs, 121 driven in, an .859 OPS, and a 5.3 WAR. Perez just put up numbers from a catcher that we don't typically see. He broke the home run record by a catcher this year as he hit 48 home runs, and he was tied with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the major league lead. Moving things over to first base, we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Guerrero was in the MVP conversation all season long as he played in 161 games, hit .311, 48 bombs, 111 driven in, a 10.02 OPS, and a 6.8 WAR. This year, Guerrero really lived up to the hype that was put on him as a minor leaguer coming up through the Blue Jays system. And to think that this guy is still only 22 years old gives me reason to believe that he will have many more seasons similar to this one. Now moving over to second base, we have Marcus Semien. Semien had a monster season as he played in all 162 games, hit .265 with 115 runs, 45 bombs, 102 driven in, 15 stolen bases, and an .873 OPS to go along with a 7.1 WAR. Semien did it all this year in his first season in Toronto, and he's really one of the better players in baseball. The 45 home runs were a career high from Semien, and he was a big reason why the Blue Jays were so successful offensively. Moving over to shortstop, we have Trey Turner. Might be a little bit of a controversial take here, as when you think of the best shortstop in the game, many people will think of Fernando Tatis Jr. But I'm here to tell you Trey Turner is the single most underrated player in the game. This year, he played in 148 games, hit .328, 107 runs, 28 bombs, 77 driven in, and 32 stolen bases. And to go along with it, he had a .911 OPS and a 6.5 WAR. Now, the reason why a lot of people don't believe Trey Turner to be one of the best players in the game is because he has had some injury issues, but when this guy is on the field, he's a clear 30-30 threat. Trey Turner is just a stud, and he deserves more recognition than he has gotten. Moving over to third base, we have Jose Ramirez. Ramirez played in 152 games where he hit .266, had 36 bombs, 103 driven in, 27 stolen bases, an .893 OPS, and a 6.7 WAR. Ramirez might not be the prettiest pick in the world here, but his talent just can't go unnoticed. Year in and year out, this guy puts up solid numbers, and he really deserves to be in the MVP conversation for the numbers he puts up on a pretty lackluster offense. Now, moving over to the outfield, the first outfielder we have here is Bryce Harper. Harper really broke out and emerged as the MVP frontrunner later on in the season as he carried the Phillies on his back. All in all, he played in 141 games, hit .309, 35 bombs, 84 runs driven in to go along with 13 stolen bases, a 10.44 OPS, and a 5.9 WAR. Not to mention, this guy has one of the best arms in the game out there in right field. Harper is a clear-cut superstar, and he had a monster 2021. Now for our second outfielder, we have Cedric Mullins. This guy really broke out and surprised everyone as no one was expecting him to have even close to as good of a season as he had. Mullins played in 159 games where he hit .291, had 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, an .878 OPS, and a 5.7 WAR. And what makes his season even more impressive is that he played on the worst team in baseball in the Baltimore Orioles, and he just put up ridiculous numbers. And for our third and final outfield spot, we have Juan Soto. Soto had yet another unreal season as in 151 games, he hit .313, had 111 runs, 29 home runs, 95 driven in, 9 stolen bases, a .999 OPS, and a 7.0 WAR. And these numbers just don't speak to how disciplined Soto is at the plate. He is one of the best offensive hitters you're going to see in the game today. He's such a smart hitter at such a young age, and he's only going to get better as he enters his prime. And this guy is in the discussion for best player in baseball. He is just that good. Now moving over to the pitchers, starting off with the best starting pitcher in 2021, we have Walker Buehler. Now this was a toss-up here as there were some other sensational pitchers like Corbin Burnes and Max Scherzer who really challenged Buehler, but I think Buehler slightly edges them out. All in all, Buehler pitched in 207 innings this year where he had a 16-4 record, a 2.47 ERA, .97 whip, 212 punchouts, and a 6.7 WAR. Buehler was consistent all season in that stacked LA starting rotation, and really they needed him every bit of the way. Ever since being drafted out of Vanderbilt, Buehler was expected to be an ace. And so far, up to this point in his career, he has lived up to the hype as he has proven that he is a clear-cut #1 starter. Now for the best relief pitcher in baseball this year, I have to go with Josh Hader. In 58 2/3 innings pitched, Hader was 4-2, had 34 saves and a 1.23 ERA where he punched out 102 batters. This year, Hader was just about as automatic as it gets. People really undervalue the importance of the closer position as many teams fall out of the race because of a poor bullpen. Josh Hader was a big reason why the Brewers won the National League Central this year and made the postseason, but he was also unfortunately the reason why they ended up getting eliminated. But that doesn't take anything away from Hader's amazing 2021 season where he was the best reliever in baseball. Now finishing things up here, last but certainly not least, we have the DH position where I'm going to be going with Shohei Ohtani. And I really did save the best for last with this one. Ohtani is the clear-cut favorite for the American League MVP as he put up a historic season. He put up MVP caliber offensive numbers while pitching at an all-star caliber level. Overall, he played in 155 games where he had a .257 average, 46 bombs, drove in 100, had 26 stolen bases to go along with a .965 OPS and a 9.0 WAR. And on the mound, he pitched in 130 innings where he went 9-2 with a 3.18 ERA and punched out 156 batters. So if those numbers don't tell you all you need to know about this season from Ohtani, then I don't know what will. Historic year from Ohtani, clearly the best DH in baseball. So there you have it, my best player from each position in 2021. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you disagreeing with me, so be sure to let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be posting plenty more baseball videos over here, so if you're a big baseball fan, feel free to subscribe. And as always, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.